valid argument. With Ferguson, no. But you don't make your point by killing someone or destroying anything. I got to hit the bottom of the hour. When we come back, Mike Miller from the Right Mics here on Vigilant Liberty Radio is going to be on. So we will be back right after this. This is Saturday Night Cigar Lounge here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best in political commentary from the right wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Mr. President, members of Congress, you've been making a lot of noise about taking our guns away. But you might want to review history. 1835, Gonzales, Texas Territory. The authorities wanted to confiscate the big gun that protected that colony. You know what the people said? Come and take it. Because they were willing to fight for their freedom and their guns. So are we.
Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands. We want the freedom that God gave us, so you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it.
One shot at a time. Just like Gonzales, we're keeping our guns.
We want to welcome Michael Moore to Occupy Wall Street. I'm so impressed by what I'm seeing here.
How much of people's income do you, Michael Moore, want the government to confiscate?
Probably twice what we're paying right now.
It's not envy, it's war.
Where's the rage? Where's the uprising?
Storm the doors of the New York Stock Exchange.
It is a class war.
If the wealthy paid their fair share.
For a documentary filmmaker, I do really well. I'm very blessed.
And the rich thought poverty was bad.
I do well.
They get rid of it.
What pure? There's nothing pure about capitalism.
And they know what's coming on Wall Street.
We're seeing the end of capitalism. And I say good riddance.
He is one of my favorite capitalists. Yeah, I want to give him a hug.
This is Ash Scow from the Washington Examiner, and you're listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio, where it's all fun and games until Taylor gets his feels poked.
Oh, Ash Scow. This is Saturday Night Cigar Lounge here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. I'm your host, Taylor Millard. Ash Scow, I'm halfway tempted to put you back on the grudge list. Not really. You do good work. You do good work. Talking about my feels poked. Yeah, well, you know, it does happen sometimes. If Liz Harrison were here, she would be confirming that it is all fun and games until I get my feels poked. Actually, we can thank Chris Lash for that line because he did a version of it, and then Ash changed it to Taylor gets his feels poked, and we kind of went from there. But joining me now is Mike Miller from the Right Mics, which you can hear Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. Mike, how are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great tonight, Taylor. How are you?
I don't know if you caught the first half hour, but this New York thing, I'm Yeah, it makes me angry.
Well, it's just, well, what is shocking today? But you have two police officers sitting in their squad car, shot execution style. Reportedly, the guy goes into a firing stance. They may not even have known what was happening, as much as I can tell. The guy's name Ishmael Brinsley, right? A black fellow. I don't want to get right into that, other than I'm pretty much sure that tomorrow morning Al Sharpton will express his rage. Barack, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon. Obama will express his rage. Eric My People Holder will express his rage. Yeah, pretty much not, man.
Well, here's what Al Sharpton said about this. He's already come out at 5:10 Eastern today. He said that he is outraged at the killing of two police officers in Brooklyn. That is why we stress nonviolence as the only way to fight for justice. Now, I'm going to say this, is that, yes, you have to stress nonviolence. I think that's the only way that you're going to get a point across. At the same time, though, you got to do a better job at it. And you also can't control everybody involved in your protests and stuff. But you got to do a better job at communicating nonviolence.
Listen, Sharpton could have done one. I was not aware. I did not hear the first part of your show. And I had the pleasure of shopping all day with my wife today. I would have rather plunged needles into my eyes, but that's a whole other story for another time. So been pretty busy. Listen, Sharpton could have done three things. He could have, obviously, if he was going to say anything in terms of the way this thing went down, he had to say what he said, right? So he could have done that, which he did. He could have said nothing, or he could show up tomorrow like he did in Ferguson as if, I don't know if you heard any of that sermon that he gave at that church that Sunday, that weekend he was in Ferguson, but it was, I don't want to say it was the same as Mike Gentle Giants Brown, screaming, "Burn this bitch down." But that was incendiary, the comments he made at the church service. But so yeah, I mean, if he's going to say anything, he has to say that. I mean, what else could he say, right?
Well, it's just. And case in point, if you can't control everybody who's involved in in everything, all right. Here we had the unfortunate murder of a man and a stepdaughter by a woman who was involved in Open Carry Texas protests.
Right.
A really unfortunate situation. Now, does that speak ill of Open Carry Texas?
Well, no. I mean,
no, not really.
And listen, you're being far more kind to Sharpton than I historically have been or will ever be. And you've said it twice now in the last several minutes. You can't control everyone who listens to your. Listen, Sharpton thrives. I mean, you go back to Tawana Brawley, you go to the Duke Lacrosse situation, both of those lies. You go to what he did relative to the Trayvon Martin shooting. You go to Ferguson. This guy thrives on whipping up, let's be honest, racist issues. I mean, the dude's become a multimillionaire doing that. So, no, I'm not as kind, as it relates to Sharpton. I'm not believing, well, he does what he does, and you just can't control the way some people react. Listen, the longer that discontent, that frankly protest, I'm not saying the guy is, for throwing Molotov cocktails at the police or looting and breaking windows and burning down businesses. I'm not going to go that far, but this guy loves it when stuff gets stirred up, and I'm saying he does his best to keep it going, in my opinion, man.
Something, I don't disagree with you in that situation. I really don't, because if you do look at some of the comments that he's made, it definitely has been, hey, let's stir the pot, let's stir the pot, let's stir the pot. The only reason why I've said that you can't control everybody involved in it is that that's true, but you have to at least try. And
but he doesn't try. He doesn't try.
Yeah, that was the next comment I was about to say. I don't think he does.
No, exactly not. Neither did Jesse Jackson in his prime. Yeah, Jesse Jackson now is desperate. You know, he comes out of the wood. What is he, like 110 years old or whatever? He comes out of the woodwork, you know, whenever he can, you know, to try to be the old Jesse. Listen, when the story in Ferguson broke, I'm fairly visual. I envision these guys breaking their necks to beat one another to Ferguson to be relevant. You know, so this is what they do. They're race hustlers. And again, I mean, I call them like I see them, which is what we do on the Right Mics, man.
Yeah, let's talk about the Right Mics before we kind of get back into politics, at least on a, you know, stronger basis. How'd you guys get, how did this kind of go about? Because you used to have your own show, and Mike Halsam had his own show, and now you guys got kind of put together.
Well, we put it together. We go back to, I'm a political editor, Independent Journal Review, IJ Review. Incidentally, just to toot that horn just a little bit, I don't know if you saw it, but Newswhip awarded us yesterday or this morning, I'm not sure. We were the number one political site for the year in the country, followed secondly by The Blaze, and thirdly by, I don't get this, but Mother Jones. So Halsam and I, we brought Halsam on, I don't know, a year or so ago maybe. Time has flown because it's so much fun. And we just kind of struck up a friendship, if you will, to the extent that you can without ever meeting anyone. I edited some of his stuff along the way. We're both snarky. We the same sense of humor. We're political junkies. He's a bit more of a nerd than I am, and he says that. I'm a closet nerd as it relates to economics and, you know, the policy and whatever. I come out of the closet when I need to. Halsam can't he can't go back in. So when I started doing my show on another network, as it were, he's one of the first guys I wanted to have on. So we came to a point. I was on for 2 hours on Monday. Every Monday I would have him on the second hour. And then I ended up getting him a show on the network. I ended up being on his show on Friday, the second hour. And we always said, on air and off, that, dude, we're really kind of good together, you know? So, listen, we're a couple of smart-ass knuckleheads who know, I think, what we're talking about. We're up on the news. We pay attention. We definitely have opinions. And so when we left, along with Liz, by the way, she was there as well doing a show, Halsam and I just talked, and we decided, you know, let's do this thing together, man. And, you know, the best comparison I have, it's like, it's kind of like the smart-ass-ness, that's something that Halsam would make up as an adjective, of a couple of sports guys, you know, like Mike and Mike, those guys, or whomever have you. But we do it politically, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, we have a great time, man.
Cool. No, we're happy to have you here on the Vigilant Liberty Radio family. The Vigilant
and we're
Liberty
glad
Radio.
To be here. You guys have been great to us, man, and we appreciate being here. Yeah.
The Vigilant Liberty Radio Empire, I guess you could say Empire.
Yeah.
City State. We'll go with that. We'll say City State.
Hey, reach for the sky, dude.
For those in the one of the earlier segments who heard the preview for The Edge of Anarchy, yes, that is coming Monday nights, right before Their Finest Hour with Alan Bordius. Stay tuned for more information there, unless you follow the host on Twitter, who has already announced what the show is going to be. And no, I'm not going to spoil anything. It's called the tease, folks. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Taylor, another good guy to listen to is Watson Prunier on Vigilant Liberty Radio. I believe he's on at 7 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesdays.
Yes, he is.
Watson, big friend of the Mike Miller show at the time, and now the Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hauser. Watson, a conservative black fellow, and he loves being described that way. In fact, irreverently, he calls himself other names, you know, to poke fun at the left who cannot tolerate a black conservative. But that somebody needs to be listened to as well. He's very articulate, Well, I don't mean it in the sense that Harry